Welcome to GNV On The Move, where we at the City of Gainesville join you for half an hour to share exciting news about programs and events in our community. I'm your host, Jennifer Smart, and we'll spend our time today looking into our city's efforts to engage young people and help them thrive. I'll have a conversation with communications and marketing graphic designer Dustin Walsh to talk about his work with One Nation, One Project. He met frequently with the students, and their input shaped the way we, as a city, approach the issue of youth gun violence. We'll also spotlight recent renovations to Duval Nature Park in East Gainesville. But first, we spend a few minutes with City of Gainesville Youth Services Manager Cherie to learn more about good work done for and by the children and young people of our community. Cherie joined the City of Gainesville 3 years ago. She now works as Youth Services Manager for the Parks, Recreation, and Cultural Affairs Department, and she's focused her career on strengthening families and empowering young people. Cherie previously worked with Partnership for Strong Families and Project Youth Build. Cherie, welcome to GNV On The Move.
Thank you.
So I would like to know a little bit about your career path and your history at working with young people and families.
So just like you mentioned earlier, I began my career with Partnership for Strong Families right out of graduate school. I have a master's in clinical psychology, and that led me to working with families to really help them seek resources to meet their needs, to strengthen their families and keep them together. I did that work for 8 years as a Family Resource Center manager across 2 sites here in Gainesville. After that, I came to the city and became the newly appointed Youth Services Manager, which was exciting for me because it allowed me to really hone in and focus what I had been doing with families and think about the ways we were serving youth within the City of Gainesville. Through my work, I've worked with so many community partners and nonprofits, and so now I bring that into the work that I do within our City of Gainesville programs, making sure that our community partners are connected to what we're doing and strengthening the programs that we have and strengthening the services that we're providing for youth within the city.
This is one of the things that I've noticed when I've seen you at different city events. You are very connected all across the community. People know you not just from your city work, but from your work with these other organizations. And I would imagine that's really helped you bring in a lot of families and neighbors who can benefit from services and also collaborate with some of these friends that you have in outside organizations.
I agree.
Yeah, so tell me a little bit about your work with One Nation, One Project, because when I came on board with the city, this was gearing up and it was getting bigger and bigger. And you were in charge of this as director with Brandy Stone, Community Health, and you were very busy coordinating the young people in the steering committee.
Absolutely. So yes, very busy is right. One Nation, One Project GNV was pretty unique because we were the only city out of 18 across the nation that focused on youth. And so that's what brought me to the table. And so we wanted to make sure that throughout the process, we were elevating youth voices in a lot of different ways. Our chosen community health issue was youth gun violence. As you know, the City of Gainesville declared youth gun violence a public health crisis in 2023. Because it's such a unique and complex issue, really unique to Gainesville to see this type of violence, we wanted to make sure the people that are most impacted, which are young people, were being included in the conversation. So we formed the Youth Steering Committee, and we also collected data from youth throughout all of the projects that we funded to make sure that the strategies and the programs that we were implementing were actually what youth wanted to see, that met the gaps that were in the community and were based on youth perspectives.
And I know that we saw some good results from the program.
Absolutely.
What was it about this experience that made it so useful, so beneficial that the city manager then said, we want to have a youth steering committee just always on board?
Well, one, it was really unique. Our city manager also really believed in elevating youth voices. That was something she championed from the very beginning. And they made a very powerful impact when they presented to the city commission last August. And they laid out all of these beautifully crafted strategies to prevent youth gun violence. That really moved our city manager, so much so that she allocated $173,000 in funds to put toward the youth recommendations. And so I really do believe she was an advocate and a champion from the very beginning.
One of several important champions, because I would be remiss if I didn't mention Commissioner Duncan Walker. Desmond Duncan Walker had the whole concept, really, of pushing One Nation, One Project and getting our youth involved. And she has centered youth voices again and again, particularly in this space where she's talking about reducing gun violence. These young people have been able to do some really interesting things under your tutelage. We saw them at the holiday parade. They met Shaquille O'Neal.
Which was amazing. Yes, they met with Shaquille O'Neal. We've met with the mayor a couple of times. We have presented to the Gun Violence Prevention Alliance and tabled at a lot of community events to kind of raise awareness of youth gun violence and also create visibility and interest for our youth steering committee.
How do young people get placed on the committee if they want to be involved?
So hopefully they have an interest, first and foremost. So our goal is to have a committee of 10 members that are representative of youth who have been impacted by gun violence and also representative of the local high schools, right? And then also ensuring that we have youth from various communities. So we don't want to just focus on high school students, but make sure that youth across our community are invited if they'd like to participate. We do have an application on our City of Gainesville website. It's very, very simple. 3 questions. Ask why are they interested. Also asked about their interest in the arts and how would they, solve and what would they contribute to the committee. From there, our youth steering committee actually interview anyone who applies and comes to an interview, and then we make selections from there. And again, all of this is led and driven by the youth steering committee, even the interview questions that we asked.
Well, it's wonderful. And how long is a term for one of the students on the youth steering committee?
We are very fluid and flexible. And so we have an age requirement of 16 to 24. And so as long as youth are regularly participating and showing up for things, we allow them to participate as long as they would like.
This is just one of many things that you do in your role with youth in the city of Gainesville. Talk a little bit about some of the other educational programming, the after school, the camps, all of these things that you have sort of in your wheelhouse.
So a lot of people are familiar with the after school, out of school days, break camps that I oversee. Those are for school-age children, grades 1 through 8. And they're, the programs that you would imagine. They're programs that operate after school hours, 2 to 6, and also when school is out, we're in. So we want to make sure that families can still go to work and have safe supervision and enrichment opportunities for their kids. So we operate on out-of-school days. And then we have our break camps and our summer camps, again, to be able to offer families the flexibility of having that available to them. A lot of people don't know that we also offer preschool programs. And these are programs that are really cool because they help prepare kids early on for those next steps in life. So we have a developmental sports program called Start Smart Sports, and that's baseball, soccer, and basketball, ages 3 to 5. And kids actually participate with their parents while developing those social and fine motor skills and team building skills that are gonna relate to their success when they enter kindergarten. We also have culinary programs for preschool kids, and we also have those culinary programs for school-age kids as well, helping them develop their love of the arts and, again, those fine motor skills. And for our little ones, they participate with their parents as well. So they're building skills while bonding with their parents. So it's a really cool thing. In addition to that, I also oversee all of environmental education for the City of Gainesville. And so that's actually youth and adult programs at 3 of our nature parks. For our youth programs, we really focus on getting kids out in nature, connecting with the communities around our nature parks. So, for example, Morningside Nature Center is right next to Cone Park and it's right next to a couple of housing communities. So we do a lot of programs where we connect with those communities and bring them over to our parks, help cultivate their interest in nature. Hopefully one day they'll become environmental educators themselves, and just help them feel really welcome and comfortable and safe and utilizing like those natural resources around them.
And we have a lot of sports, of course, that get into gear in the fall as kids are going back to school. So what are some of the programs that are happening in September?
So for our sports program, we still have Pop Warner going on. That's football and cheer. Of course, that's a nationally recognized program that our youth participate in. After that, basketball will start. So youth basketball, which is held at MLK. We also have aquatics programs for kids where kids can go take swim lessons, and golf programs as well where kids can take golf lessons. So there's something for everybody.
And what are the easiest ways for parents or grandparents, caregivers who are interested to get more information?
A couple of ways. You can go to our website, our City of Gainesville website. I believe you go under community, and then parks and recreation is the easiest way to navigate to it. From there, parents are able to kind of select if they're looking for an athletic program or a youth program, like a youth camp. Also, our seasonal guide that our department now has is available online, and also print copies are available at the Thomas Center. And that is all of the programs that are offered through the Department of Parks, Recreation, and Cultural Affairs.
I wanted to talk a little bit about the guide because this is a project that you at Parks and our team at Communications have worked on together for months now, because we're putting them out seasonally. And it's a great resource. It's beautiful to look at. It was a big, heavy lift, I know, for people in parks to coordinate all of the information that goes into it. It really does have everything. It has events, it has parades, it has arts and cultural affairs, it has sports.
It does. It has everything. And it is not only helped our customers be able to kind of have a one-stop shop for everything, but it helps us when people call and they ask about a program that maybe I don't directly implement, but I can now answer a question without having to connect them with somebody else. So it's been really helpful for us serving our customers in that way as well.
So before we run out of time, I want to ask you one more question, which I guess would just be, with all of your training and your background, what would be your recommendation for families with young people who want to get involved but haven't quite figured out how to do it yet?
I would say visit the program, come take a look and see. Just keep your kids engaged. Let them explore as many opportunities as they want to explore early on, and let them figure out what best fits and where they land.
Wonderful. Cherie, thank you so much for being here with us.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
After the break, we'll speak with communications and marketing graphic designer Dustin Walsh to learn about his art, which you have probably seen without even knowing it. But first, here is an update on steps the City of Gainesville is taking to address issues facing communities across the country.
As part of the city's Vision Zero initiative to eliminate traffic deaths and serious injuries by 2040, a portion of Northwest 8th Avenue has been redesigned. Wider bike lanes have been added to provide more distance between cyclists and vehicles. In addition, a new bike lane also has been added to the southbound lane of Northwest 6th Street, between Northwest 7th and Northwest 8th Avenues, across from the Gainesville Police Department. September is National Preparedness Month, and a good time to double-check that the important documents in your emergency kit are current. If you've recently renewed your homeowners, flood, or auto insurance policies, print out copies for your kit today and store them in a waterproof envelope or storage bag. Find additional helpful tips to prepare yourself, your loved ones, and your pets for disasters and emergencies at ready.gov. The City of Gainesville offers neighbors free building plans to construct accessory dwelling units, or ADUs, on their property. These separate living quarters are ideal independent living space for aging parents, young adults, or for generating rental income. The professionally designed plans are available in several configurations, including 1- and 2-bedroom units, among others. Visit the city's website and search ADU to download the free building plans and find more information about these flexible living solutions.
In the City of Gainesville, we believe in second chances. Introducing the Fair Chance Hiring Ordinance, a step towards creating a more inclusive and thriving community. Our Fair Chance Hiring Ordinance aims to reduce recidivism, decrease unemployment rates, and promote successful reintegration. We understand that denying employment opportunities based on criminal history not relevant to the job under consideration is unjust and harms our community. Under this ordinance, employers are prohibited from making statements in job postings or recruitment materials that automatically disqualify applicants based on criminal history. We're leveling the playing field by preventing employers from asking about or considering an individual's criminal history until after making a conditional employment offer. An employer covered by the ordinance must perform an individualized assessment before denying employment based on criminal history. We believe in providing a fair chance for everyone to succeed. Join us in creating a stronger, more inclusive Gainesville. For more information about the Fair Chance Hiring Ordinance, visit our website at gainesville.fl.gov/fairchancehiring. Together, we can build a brighter future for all.
Are you ready for some music? Get ready to rock, roll, and groove every Friday night all summer and fall at the Bo Diddley Plaza in historic downtown Gainesville. Catch the best local music under the stars. Bring your lawn chairs, blankets, and kids to the Free Fridays concert series. The fun starts at 7 Friday nights, and again, it's free. For a full schedule, visit GainesvilleFL.gov/Bo Diddley Plaza.
Car burglaries are the #1 crime in the City of Gainesville. GPD asks all of our neighbors to lock your doors, to keep your valuables out of sight. If your wallet, your keys, or a firearm are left in sight in your car, the chances of your car being burglarized increase exponentially. Help reduce this crime in the City of Gainesville by keeping your valuables out of sight, locking your vehicles, and taking your keys inside. With these simple steps, you can avoid becoming a victim of the #1 crime in the City of Gainesville, car burglaries.
Communications and marketing graphic designer Dustin Walsh has been with the city since 2019 and is currently one of our senior designers. He's a very talented artist in a wide variety of media. Dustin, welcome to GNV On The Move.
Thank you for having me.
You are part of our communications team. We love having you work with us in our office. Tell us a little bit about how you ended up with the city of Gainesville.
So when I was in school, one of my first internships was here at the city with RTS. So while I was going to Santa Fe College for graphic design, I interned here at RTS in the marketing department, and I got to learn all kinds of really cool hands-on applications for design, like bus wraps, vehicle wraps, signage, digital displays, and that's kind of where it started. And then after that, I worked for about 3 or 4 years in commercial real estate, and then later on the city had a full-time job opening, so I applied, and I've been here ever since.
And you do a lot of different things. When I came on board almost 3 years ago, you were deeply involved in One Nation, One Project. This has been a really important initiative for the city of Gainesville. It involves youth, cultural arts. Could you tell us a little bit about, we call it Own Up?
Yeah, so One Nation, One Project started as a national initiative with the city of Gainesville and 8 other cities. And our city commission decided that they wanted to focus on the youth, specifically limiting, youth violence by using art programming and things that the youth wanted to do. So we started meeting with local youth and getting their ideas as to the sorts of events and things that they wanted to do. And early on, they didn't have any kind of branding yet for this program because it was kind of just starting. So I worked with the local youth and met with them to create a logo for our city for One Nation, One Project. And I brought in logo books. I got to talk to the students. I got to see what kind of logos that they liked, look and feel of, get their take on things that they didn't like. And then we came back to them and I presented 10 logo designs. They discussed them. They picked a logo, and then we came back again to decide on the final colors. And so our local chapter of One Nation, One Project had its own branding, unique to Gainesville and to the youth here.
And what did you think working with the young people? Did they seem very engaged? Did it make it more meaningful for them to be part of the planning and behind the scenes of this project?
Yeah, so I got to work with the students at Project Youth Build, and they were phenomenal. They were super engaged. They loved working with us. They had a lot of really good ideas and a lot of really good opinions on things that they liked, and they understood the application of it, because I explained, this is going to be on T-shirts. It's going to be on signage. Like, you're going to see this around town. So what do you want to see? And so they really helped us narrow down and pick something that they liked.
So I think it's important to note that the Youth Steering Committee that Cherie has talked about was an outgrowth of what you did with this group, a direct result. And now we have these young people who are informing the city on a lot of other things. One Nation, One Project also sort of sprouted wings in other areas. We had some great performances. We had grants. We had summer extravaganzas. We had a big talent show. And you were part of designing the platform for all of these things. So talk a little bit about that work and what went into it.
So for the talent show, I worked with Marion Caffey, who's from Gainesville and actually leads the largest running talent competition, the Amateur Night at the Apollo in New York City. So he was looking for local Gainesville talent, youth Gainesville talent, to win an all-expenses-paid trip to New York City to compete in the Amateur Night at the Apollo. So I worked with him. I created 3 to 5 poster designs, and we ended up selecting one of those that we distributed all over town and to different places and social media and stuff like that. And we got 2 contestants that we selected, and one of them, Emmanuel Garrulus, went on to win the grand prize at the Amateur Night of the Apollo this year.
And this was a historic win. We've talked so much about this. He's the only known instrumentalist to win at every level. I think it's a 4-phase competition. He also is the only one to win first place in all of the phases. And it's almost like your designs now are part of history, of Gainesville and Apollo history. It's really a cool thing that you were able to be a part of.
Yeah, and I really enjoy doing it. So it's nice to be able to see the fruits of your labor reach heights as far as New York City.
And when you were working with these young people, did you feel that any of them were inspired creatively by being able to be part of your process and see a professional graphic artist and work alongside?
Yeah, I think whenever I see or talk to students, a lot of them have never heard the term graphic designer. So they see, logos and T-shirts and billboards, and they see all this stuff in their day-to-day life, but they don't actually see how it's made or the person behind it. So I think being able to meet them and talk to them and share the process honestly can give them an opportunity to be like, hey, maybe this is something that I want to do.
And this is the perfect segue for what I wanted to ask you next, because art that you have created is all over Gainesville, possibly even out in Alachua County. I don't know how far your reach is, but tell us a little bit about some of the things that are out there that you have drawn, created, designed, that people are seeing in their day-to-day lives.
So one of the most notable things, when I was a student at Santa Fe College, they had a student logo design competition. And the winner of that competition got to help create the logo and mascot for their athletics team, the Saints. And so my logo actually won first place. And I got to work with their communications department, finalize the logo and the brand guidelines. And then I also got to work with the team that developed Albert and Alberta to make the actual mascot, which I have this cute little plush version of.
Caesar,
the St. Bernard. And so that's probably one of my most seen notable works, because they've been using that for the past 10 years. I've done murals on the 34th Street wall advertising different events and holidays and things like that. Rack cards, brochures, programs.
Park signage.
Yes, I also did the redesign for Possum Creek Park and Skate Park. I did all of the wayfinding signage for that. and the city graphic that you've seen maybe at State of the City or on our Big Belly trash cans all over downtown.
Which it's like a sort of a cityscape, very similar to back here, but it shows a lot of different buildings all together.
Yes.
Yeah, it's really creative. And we have it in City Hall as well.
Yes.
So what are you working on next that you're excited about that we might look for in the future?
So I just finished some rack card designs for GCRA.
Which we have right here.
We have right here.
Downtown.
And so these go to their new beta website, and it has all kinds of really cool places for you to shop, eat, play, and different artwork to see with our, awesome murals all over downtown. And it's really just like a cool place where tourists and locals can find things to do in our local downtown.
Well, I appreciate you being here. And I think people, when they see this, they will start looking for your art, or at least they'll start thinking about who are the artists, the skilled persons who are behind all of the things that we see that make Gainesville the way it is.
Of course.
Thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me.
We hope you've enjoyed this glimpse of the many exciting projects going on in Gainesville. We leave you now with a look at recent renovations to Duval Nature Park in East Gainesville. The improvements will not only enhance the park experience for visitors, but also help protect the neighborhood from flooding. Join us again next month as we take another look at GNV On The Move.
1, 2, 3.
So we've been working over the past several months to make some improvements here at Duval Nature Park. Improvements really focus on the overall experience as well as accessibility. We've added a new path that is ADA accessible that surrounds the entire stormwater pond. We also have a dedicated parking area off of Northeast 24th Street, as well as a new pedestrian entrance off of Northeast 23rd Street. Other enhancements include a new grill and drinking fountain, as well as a brand new playground over here. Site improvements made for this park include not only projects here, but we also have a new stormwater pond on the northwest side of the park that will not only serve the improvements made on this location here, but also for the neighborhood in general. These improvements were funded through the Wild Spaces Public Places 1/2 cent surtax, which is used here in the City of Gainesville to fund improvements and enhancements as well as maintenance for our recreational areas.